Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another time here. Good afternoon. It's 2 p.m. West African time, and I'm shooting this here from Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria, in Houghton, West Africa. You're welcome. It's my book club. I got to do this time every Sunday, and we're presently reading our seventh book in the series. Is the Amen Effect, written by Sharon Brous, a rabbi. And it's a book that talks about ancient wisdoms that help to mend our broken hearts and world. It just helps to make us functional, as the word might be. We're presently on to chapter 4 of the book. There are 8 chapters in all in the book. We started reading chapter 4 last week, Sunday, and today is the second reading into chapter 4 on a topic I love so much and it's so relatable to my life, come alive, when I think of the word coming alive, I think of my life, and I lived a whole lot of years probably not alive, kind of dragging along. Somehow something wasn't turned on the inside of me. I was living, but I wasn't fully alive, you know. I can, I wasn't fully alive, I was kind of passing through time. I was more of a person who dwelled more on the way I felt. I was seemingly looking for the easy way to do things. When things are hard, I run away. That's how I lived a good portion of my life. I kind of run away from the seeming difficult, things that required too much effort. I grew up as one was a lazy reader. I was intelligent, no doubt. I wouldn't have come this far if I wasn't intelligent, but uh, I was a lazy reader. I did read when it was crunch time, If the exam was tomorrow, yes, I would read to pass, but I wasn't one that was necessarily intentional about life, nor was I really proactive about life. It took life happening to me several times to wake me up to life, to the reality of life, you know. I did fall in love at some point in time, and I didn't understand what it was, and I was dragging along trying to make it work. Unfortunately, uh, I didn't know the language of love. I didn't know how the language to communicate it. And so it never really worked, even though I chased after it for a long time, 11 years actually. Whatever it was about it, I wasn't bold enough, to stand up for what I wanted, and lessons from all of that is the reason why I do a lot of teachings around relationship. What I teach is more from a personal experience. I've been in the trenches. So when I talk about relationship, I'm talking about something I've felt, something I've touched. I'm not like someone who's just doing head knowledge, read it in a book. I've gone through the pain of it, you know. I've gone through the pain of it, so it's relatable to me. I can feel it. I've been married here now for the last married here. This is my well, I was married back in 1997, right? Yeah. So yeah, I was married in 1998. I was married in 1998, so I'm here 26 years plus of marriage, So yeah, so that comes with a lot of experience on its own, right? So, and that wasn't really that went through almost like sleeping through life, I can look at my life and this word is so relatable to me. The first years of marriage was like sleeping through life. I had a lot of emotions, a lot of confusions. I was kind of sleeping through life. I wasn't fully turned on. I wasn't proactive. I wasn't intentional. Even though I do a lot of things, I was ordained as a pastor more than 20 years ago. So I've been through church leadership, all of that stuff. My spirit has always been alive. but my mind had been behind where my spirit was. I could key into the spirit, every so often, but my mind was far behind where my spirit was. So, and probably another word for coming alive is that place of consciousness. You can only operate to the level of consciousness that you have. Coming alive is turning up your consciousness. When you're unconscious, or when your consciousness is at a lower level, you're pretty much asleep, because that's what happens to us when we sleep. When we sleep, our consciousness is turned off, and our subconsciousness, our consciousness is the one that holds sway when we're sleeping. Sleep is pretty much my consciousness is turned off. My unconsciousness is turned on. Same thing, when we talk about hypnotism. Hypnotism is not necessarily about sleeping, but I guess we seem to relate it with sleep because of the relationship of our consciousness and our unconsciousness. Hypnotism is simply being able to bypass the consciousness of a person to get to the unconsciousness of the person. That's why we seem to relate hypnotism as someone sleeping, but you can be very awake, your eyes are open and be hypnotized. It just means that someone is controlling your unconsciousness. Your consciousness is asleep, or is passive, is not active. That's what hypnotism does to you. So coming alive, it's causing your consciousness to be a part of your journey, right? For as long as you are alive, for as long as there's blood flowing inside of you, your unconsciousness will always be awake 24/7, right? But to the extent that your unconsciousness will benefit you is the extent to which your consciousness is awake and you have mastery over your consciousness. I'll say that again. For as long as you're alive, your unconsciousness is always awake 24/7. Your unconsciousness is the workhorse of your life. Once you come alive, your unconsciousness stays on, it never sleeps, right? But your unconsciousness is what gets to rest, right? Or be passive through life, right? The extent to which you will be fully able to grasp the treasures of life and live a fulfilling life is the extent to which your consciousness is awake and you have mastery over it. Your consciousness is awake and you have mastery over it. So when we talk about coming alive, we're talking about your consciousness coming alive. Your consciousness coming alive. Yes, your blood is flowing through you. You are not dead. From an unconscious level, or from a physical level, but we're saying psychologically, spiritually, a person might be dead. It's just passive through life. It's not taking ownership of the journey, the pilgrimage through life, right? So that's what we're trying to talk about. I was talking about coming alive, is you taking active participation in the scene of life, in the theater of life, in the war front of life, in the battlefield of life. You are taking active participation. You are taking ownership of your destiny. You are taking ownership of your fate. You are taking the captaincy of your being, your soul. You're not leaving it to chance. You're not like those people that are waiting for destiny helper, using that as an excuse, from taking ownership of their life. They are waiting for man. Someone like that man at the pool of Siloam, I have no man. I have no man. That's a dead person, right? That's a dead person. Dead before burial, right? I have no man. If you are there sitting down, I have no man, then you are dead. Come alive. You are the man that you need. You are the woman that you need. There's no help coming. You are the help that you need. use the help that you have. As you use the help that you have, which is you, other helps will come your way. Until you come alive, there will not be extra help for you. You have to come alive. Show people how to help you by helping yourself. When you help yourself, other help will come your way to back you up, to support you. Other help will not lead the way for you. You have to show the way that you want to go. Then others will come and back you up, support you, usher you along. It's your life. Take ownership of it. That's what it means to come alive. Take ownership of your life. Take ownership of your life. Take ownership of your life. Turn on. Take ownership of your life. Lead it where you believe, where your dream is. Lead it in the path that your dream is, your goal is, where that burning desire is on the inside of you, where you believe you'll be fulfilled. And that belief might not be perfect, but you start where you are. As you are on your way, the Lord will help you. Your dream will be perfected. Your dream will be cleaned. But your dream will not be clean or perfected if you don't start. Sitting down, waiting for your dream to be clean is waiting in vain, waiting, rotting away. You got to start where you are with what you have. As you start using what you have, all that help, all that things will be provided for you. You will get help. You will get help. Use what you have and you will get help. Use what you have and you will get help. Use what you have and you will get help. All right? So that's what we're going to be talking about as we go in this second section. We're probably going to have at least 2 more sessions here to close chapter 4. So today is going to be the second one, and as we go into chapter 4 of our book, The Amen Effect. Come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive. So as I always do, I'm going to bring up my slides here, and we're going to run through the slides and have a structured time together. All right, let's do that. All righty, I'm sure you can see my slide here. On YouTube Live, you can see my slide on my blog. And you see my slide here when you're seeing it later on Facebook. Instagram Live, as always, you can't see the slide because there's no feature for it. They get to see me, the most important part of the time's presentation. So you lose nothing in doing this. All righty. So we did pick on one quote that was going to run through this chapter, and that's a quote by Kim Seaman. It says, "Life is suffering." Life is suffering. That could be confused or something that draws people away. But it's true. Life is, you got to do something. You got to take a step. You have to make the effort about life. That's all it's saying. Life is you making the effort. Life is you pressing against the resistance. There's a resistance against you moving forward. There's a resistance against you making progress in life. That's what we call the downward negative pull of life. There's a downward negative pull of life. We just want you to just be que sera, sera. Don't trouble anybody. Nobody trouble you. Que sera, sera. Then you live a poverty-stricken life and die poverty-stricken and be blaming everybody for your calamity but yourself, right? You have to make an effort to make your life the life that you want, the life that will make you happy, right? You have to make the effort, push yourself forward, push yourself in the direction that you want. Make the effort sow towards the harvest that you want. Whatever it is that you want, find out the price for the life that you want, and determine, desire, and begin to pay the price for the life that you want. You are not going to get that life unless you pay the price for that life. For every life that you see, for every life that you desire, for every life that you crave for, there is a price to pay. And the way to get that life is to pay the price for that life to come. That life will not eat. It's not an happenstance. Happenstance is not a suddenly. It's not because some fake drunken pastor prayed for you. It is because you paid the price to get it, right? That's the way life works, and that's the way God Almighty ordained it to work. Everyone pays the price for what they get. Part of paying that price is a preparation for you to be able to handle the blessing, for you to be able to handle the life that you are looking for. Is that picture of a butterfly coming out of the cocoon. If you break that cocoon for the butterfly and the butterfly comes out of that cocoon easily, that butterfly will fall down and die, because the part of what strengthens and prepares that butterfly for the journey of life, for the flight of life, is a struggle it takes to come out of the cocoon. The struggle it takes to come out of the cocoon. As it's struggling to come out of the cocoon, that the wings are getting strengthened. The wings are building strength. They are building strength. They are building seeming muscle. They are being prepared to fly. It has not flown before, but that struggle, prepares the wings to be able to fly, flap against the wind. If it doesn't go through that struggle, they will not be able to fly. The struggle is to prepare that butterfly to be able to fly. If you go in and break that cocoon for that butterfly will die, because that butterfly will not have built the muscle it takes to fly. Right? So the Holy Book says that if your strength fails you in the day of adversity, it's because your strength is small. It's not because the adversity is big, it's because your strength is small. So every stage of life, we're supposed to build strength, because of when the storm comes, that storm will come to test, the strength you have built in the time of peace, in the time of seeming safety. You are what the storm comes to test, what kind of strength you have built. Jesus says, it says there are two kinds of people: those that listen to his word are like those, who build their house upon the rock, and the storm will come and the storm will blow, and that rock will be unmovable. It's because they paid the price. They did not just build their house anyhow. They did not just build their house on sand. They took the time to build their house on a firm foundation, on a storm-proof foundation. They did the work. They paid the price. That's why when the storm came, the storm could not blow the house away. Those that do not hear the word and practice it, those that do not put action to their journey, are like those that build their house upon the sand. They do not take the time to have a firm foundation to stand against the storms of life. The storms of life is not something that happens to just a few. The storms of life happens to every single one of us. It is not a cost. It is a requirement. It's part of living. The storm comes to every single one of us. The storm is not to kill us. The storm is to elevate us. The storm is to take us to the next level. The storm is to assure that the work we have done, that we have done and we are doing, is a sure work. It's not a work that has question to it. It's a test that the work we are doing, the foundation we are building, is going to stand the next level, the next stage that of our life. Right? The storm just comes to test our work, to see if that work is a proven work. It's a sure work. If that work will stand, the promotion that is coming our way. The Bible says that promotion neither comes from the east nor from the west, but promotion comes from God. It judges one and promotes him. It judges another and demotes him. The same God that promotes, the same God that demotes, is a function of what you are doing. It comes to check the work of your hand. Have you paid the necessary price? If you have not paid, if you have paid the price, it will promote you. If you have not paid the price, it will demote you. The God that promotes is the same God that demotes. The God that gives life is the same God that allows death. It's a function of what you do. It's a function of what he finds in your hand, in a day of reckoning. Right? It's not God, it's you. It's what you are doing with your life. Are you paying the right price? Are you doing the right things? That is what gets judged, right? So life is suffering. Life is you being intentional. Life is you being proactive, right? Life is you, paying the price for the life you want, and it goes on in the second part of that quote. It says, punctured by moments of pure majesty. Majesty comes when the day of reckoning comes, when the day of promotion comes, when the day of judgment comes. That majesty is going to be, whether you are paid the right price, whether you have built the right foundation or not. It Life is sowing and reaping. Life is sowing and harvesting. Life is cause and effect. You know, the harvest you get, the effect you get is a function of the sowing you did, the cost you did, right? You would not get what you have not sown for. If you don't sow, don't expect anything. The scripture says, give and it shall be given, 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 sow and you shall reap. As cause and there shall be effect, cause and there shall be effect, cause and there shall be effect, sow and you shall reap. It doesn't matter what the reason why you are sowing, there will be a reaping, but it's going to be reaping according to your sowing, but it's not because when I'm saying I'm thinking of reaping. No, that's not what that ancient wisdom is saying. It says, give and it shall be given. It's a law, it's a principle, it will work all the time, whether you know it or not, whether you plan for it or not. It says, give and it shall be given, give and it shall be given. If you give good things, you will get good things. If you give bad things, you will get bad things. If you give the right measure, the right price, you will get the results, the reward of the price that you have paid. And the reward, the harvest is always bigger than the sowing, right? So let's move on there. The greatest miracle is to be alive. All of what we're saying right now, you don't get qualified for it if you're dead. That's why we say a living dog is better than a dead lion. First of all, is that we're alive. It's a miracle to be alive. It's a blessing to be alive. It's the greatest miracle to be alive, because that's what qualifies you for all that life gets to give, right? We're alive, and that's something to be grateful for. I don't care where you are right now. We have that popular saying, once there's life, there's hope, right? Once there's life, there's hope. You are alive, meaning there's hope for you. There's a hope for you. If you're sick, that you'll be healed. If you're down, that you'll be lifted, right? You're poor, you'll be rich. Irrespective of where you have right now, you are alive, meaning that you're a candidate for a miracle. You're a candidate for a blessing, right? That means you can still do something about the situation of your life, right? You can pray. You can sow seeds. You can do what you can do. You can be proactive. You can make efforts, right? We're alive. That means that we're candidates, for all that life gets to provide and give, right? The greatest gift we can offer each one is our presence, our aliveness, right? It's one thing to be alive is a good gift, but the greatest thing we can give to anybody is that a part of that, our aliveness, otherwise called our presence, right? And we only have so much of it, right? Our presence, because there's only so much lifespan that we have, right? Every other thing we can probably replenish, but each of us has a certain number of days to be here. When our number of days is over, it's time to go. So it's life or presence or time is an irreplenishable, resource. So once we have it, it's up to us to make the best of it. Some of us have been given to live 100 life, 120 years. Whatever it is, it's up to us to make the best of it, because once it's done, we're done. We'll move on to the next stage of life. And the next stage of life will be judged by that which we did on this stage of life, right? The impact that we have is the number of days that we have that we can make that impact here, right? And the greatest gift you can give to anybody, because that's the greatest treasure that you have, is a portion of that life. Being there for someone else, being there for your loved ones, being there for your wife, being there for your children, being there for your siblings, being there for the people you love and you care about, giving them a listen here, giving them a caring heart, let's move it. All right. So look, the next few things I have here, for today's breaking down a bit more what we say when we say life is suffering. And one of the first places I start with is this quote by Virginia Woolf. It says, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life." So when we say come alive is face life, face the challenge, face the issues of your life, face the challenges of your life. Stop running away from life. You have to face life sometime. A lot of people run away from facing the challenges of their life, the issues of their life. Some people do it consciously, some people do it unconsciously, just like I gave an example as I was introduced on this topic today. I lived a portion of my life always running away from the things that are difficult, the things that are challenging, as it were. I didn't face some things in my life. Part of it was that I was so concerned about what people would say about me, so I easily gave in, to there were things I ran away from. And also, it's part of being maturity. Anyway, I was immature at those times. It was the best I knew at those times. But yeah, but ignorance is no excuse in life at the same time. I got the result of what I knew because I was limited by what I knew to do what I did. And I got the result of that, nothing more. Right? But don't avoid life. If you're going to get life, you have to face life. You have to face the issues of your life, right? For me right now, issues in my life, my children are away, are in another country. I'm here. It's the reality of my life. Can I avoid it? Right now, I can't. So I make the best of it. I'm not physically there with them, but I give them all of that I can give to them as if I was there. They are not lacking in any single thing, right? Because they need me and I cannot be there physically. I give them the next closest thing, that is communicating with them, staying in touch with them, and making sure they don't lack in any single way to the limit of my human possibility, right? Several realities in my life. That's a reality of age also. I'm going to retire here in 3 years' time. I'm 57 this year. 60 is the retirement age here in Nigeria. So I've been singing out loud the last 2, 3 years, right? Because it's a reality that's going to come, whether I like it or not. It's going to come. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 years. It'll be 60. It'll be time to leave the office. I got to face that reality. So every day I live facing that reality, preparing for after 60, after Chevron. What will I do when I stop going to the office? Right? It's my job to design my future. No other person will do it for me, not God. God will not do it for me. That's why He gave me something between my ears, because He expects me to use it. It will help me, but it will not do it for me. Otherwise, you'll have given an empty skull. If He needed to do it for me, I won't put anything in this call. He put something in this call for me to use it to design my tomorrow, design my next 3 years, design my after next 3 years. But while I'm doing it, it will help me. It will fine tune it. It will perfect it. But I have to start the journey. I have to face the reality of life for me. Reality of life for me is I'm an empty nester right now, you know. So it's just me and my wife. We have no distractions anymore. We need to face each other. We need to give each other what we need, to keep the bond alive. We need to face the reality. We have no excuse of children anymore, right? We need to be there for one another. We need to be there for whatever body clock is saying to us, right? We need to trump, the reality of our season of life, right? Uh, and several things. Key thing is you have to face your life. Every day, look at the things facing you and face it. Make the best of it. Trump life, trump your challenges. You might not have all it takes to do it at the beginning, but start where you are. Start where you are and do it. Chip it up beat by beat. Chip it up beat by beat. Chip it up beat by beat. Right? I have a large expanse of farmland. I can't get to everything in one day, in 1 week, in 1 month. But what do? I do what I can do. Keep on pushing, do what I can do. And the more I do it, the closer I am to my vision of the farmland, right? But we can't avoid life. We have to face life. You have to face the reality of your journey. Face the reality of your journey. My goddaughter had to face reality of her married life. She was in a place where she was verbally abused, and all other things. She has to face the challenge behind her, and she had to make the choice between life and death. I don't know what it is for you, but stop running from life. Face the issues of your life. Ask yourself, what can I do about it? Because just living as if it's not there will not help you. It's going to be there. It's going to get worse if you don't face it. So ask the question, what can I do about it? Where can I start? I might not be able to solve it in one day. I might not be able to solve it in 1 week. I might not be able to solve it in 1 month, but I can start somewhere to do something about it. And when I start, providence will help me. God will come along and help me and make it better. But I have to start. He's waiting on me to start. He's waiting on me to use which is here. Here, use it. And if this is not working for you, seek guidance, seek counsel, seek professional help, but do something about the issue of your life. Stop wishing it away. Hope is not a life strategy. Intentionality is the strategy. Do something about the issue of your life. Until you do something about it, it will not get better. Right? So let's go on to the next one. It says, a man who fears suffering is always suffering from what he fears. Right? If you don't do something about your life, that enemy on the road will always be there. And it will be gaining more territory. What you fear, until you face it, will just becomes bigger. And you'll always be a prisoner to it until you face it. Don't avoid life. Don't run away from your fears. Face your fears. Learn about it. The more you learn about it, the more light comes to bear. Do something about and wait what you learn. Right? Face life. Suffer, pay the price so that you can enjoy the life, right? Embrace your suffering and let it reveal to you the way to peace. Life is not about avoidance. Life is about facing the thing that is facing you. We walk through the issues of life. We don't avoid the issues of life. We lean into life. We don't lean away from life. We lean into the things that are before us. Because until you face that giant, it will always be a giant. But when you face it, it becomes a bread for eating, right? The giant you run away from, you will always run away from. The giant you face, you eat, and it becomes history, right? So don't run away from life. Embrace your life. Embrace the challenge of your life. Lean into life. Face the issue. Face the issue. Yes, you might not solve it in one day. You might not solve it in 1 week, but start. Start from where you are. Start from where you can, and begin to chip up on it. A mountain might not be moved in one chunk, but you can move it one stone at a time. Move it one stone at a time. Chip off it, 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 chip off it. And before you know, you have moved the mountain because you are a mountain mover. Start from where you are, right? So I'm gonna wear my glasses here. Should have made this one smaller. It's better to step forward into growth rather than step backward into safety, right? And there's nothing called safety in this life. The poor people are always looking for safety, right? Rich people look for opportunities. Poor people looking for safety. Rich people are looking for opportunities, right? Because there's no real place that is safe. It's only safe temporarily. Safety is an illusion, right? There's still something that can get you where you are, right? Look for opportunities. Look for growth, right? Step out to progress. Look for opportunities, look for growth. Step out, step out, step out, step out, right? The way to be safe is the way to growth. But the bigger you become, the smaller the things that can happen, the less the things that can, all right, let me not put it that way, but the bigger you are, your situation might not change, but when you grow big, you can grow bigger than your situation, right? Looking for safety means that you remain at that level, fighting the same demon, but you can grow bigger. Even though your situation might not change, you can trump your situation. You can leave your situation where it is. You don't have to live the rest of your life fighting the same devil. You can grow bigger and become bigger and better and at a higher level than the demon you are fighting today. Right? Life is not about looking for safety. Life is about looking for opportunities for growth. Keep on growing, keep on getting better. Right? There's a great world out there. There's a great array of things you can lay your hands on. You can grab, you can lay your hands on. Life is waiting for you. Life is waiting to be discovered by you. Keep on looking for opportunity, keep on looking for growth. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about progressing. Life is about pushing forward, right? Life is about being better. It's not about looking for perfection, looking for safety. It's about looking for opportunities and harnessing those opportunities for growth, opportunities for increase, opportunities for betterment, right? Uh, if it is better all right, if there is no struggle, there is no progress, right? If there's no struggle, there's no progress. The worst place you can be is in your comfort zone, right? It looks nice and cozy, but there's no growth there because you're familiar with this place, you're comfortable at this level. Life is moving on, life is ever evolving. You need to seek for new challenges. You need to seek for new grounds to conquer, right? If you live all your life in your comfort zone, you will not grow, and life will have passed you by. Suddenly you find out that your cheese has been moved. Things around you have moved, So the way to not go backwards, because when you're in your comfort zone, you're actually going backward because every other thing is moving forward, right? You need to move forward so you don't go backwards, right? You have to learn new things, right? You have to learn new things, become more relevant, not be conquered by your environment, continue to look at how you can, trump your environment. You can become relevant in the season, in the age, in the generation, in the reality of the world in which you are living in. Don't let the world you are living in defeat you. Always seek to trump it, seek to be someone that is ahead of it, seek to be someone that is able to stand your ground, take your own place at the table. But that requires pressing, because it requires you learning, it requires you to grow, it requires you to do exercise, as mental exercise, spiritual exercise, physical exercise. It's said about Warren Buffett, how many hours a day he reads. He reads because he needs to build his capacity to handle the issues of his business, the issues of life. What you can grab, what you can handle, what will be given to you, is a function of what you can handle. Don't take a teaspoon to the ocean. At least take a bucket along. Your bucket is your capacity. Solomon had to pray to God when he became king. He said, God, give me the capacity to rule your people. Give me the enablement to rule your people. And one of the ways we will build that capacity is by reading, is by developing ourselves, is by expanding our mind, is by expanding our knowledge, it's by expanding our skills, is by expanding our abilities. That's the more cup you bring, the more that can be put into it. If all you take to the ocean is a teaspoon, that's what you'll get. But if you get a bucket, and that bucket is determined by your building your capacity, you're building your knowledge base, you're building your abilities, that's what's going to be filled, right? So it's not favorite. Life has no favoritism. Life is neutral. It's the cup you present to life that life will fill with, so push struggle, push forward, to develop yourself, to increase yourself, so that you are bringing to life the right, a bucket, not a teaspoon, a good container that life can fill, and you will enjoy life by that which life gives to you. The next thing we'll see here is by Jensen Hong, who is the CEO of NVIDIA. It says character is not formed out of smart people. It is formed out of people who have suffered. Just like we spoke about the butterfly. When you go through life, you build character. When you avoid life, you don't build character. You remain ever small. To become big, you need to lean into life and go through life. Face the issues of life. Face the issues of life. Make the necessary changes in your being. Right? Thomas Edison talked about doing 1,000 experiments. It wasn't just wasting his time. Each experiment built on the last one. Each experiment was becoming better at it. All those experiments were relatable. It wasn't just doing things at random. It did this one, it didn't work. It tweaked it a little bit. Tweak. Each one becoming better. So each time we face life, we learn something, and we'll practice it. What we'll practice and put to effort in our life makes us better, right? As we face life, we become better. And when we have become the person that God needs to give an assignment to take to the next level, or life qualifies you to, then you get the reward. You have that puncture into life that will call, pure majesty, the day of visiting, the day of reward, right? But it doesn't come until you're ready, so that's what we say that, luck is when opportunity means preparation. That preparation is what you do when you face life. You lean into life, you work out the issues of life before you. One of it for me, it's I'm a very passionate person, which is both good and bad, right? Passionate person, it means that lost in passion, you might not be able to wage what we call psychological warfare. That is fighting a battle without fighting, because your passion really wants to be visible all the time. But part of emotional intelligence is that you don't always show all your ammunition. You don't always expose all your emotions. You need to keep some emotions in check. You need to be able to control yourself, right? You don't let your emotions have the better of you. It's okay to be passionate, but it is detrimental to your progress, detrimental to your success, if your emotions, your supposed passion is having control over you. If you don't know when to hold it back, when to hold a straight face, when not to show emotions, and when to show emotions, then you have a problem. You're not matured. Emotional maturity is knowing when to show which emotion, when to hold back your emotion, and when to show your emotion. That is what you call emotional maturity, emotional maturity. And scripture has it to say, it says a person that cannot control his or her emotion is one who is like a city without walls. That means that you expose yourself. People know how to get you down. People know how to get a specific reaction from you. But when you can control your emotion, when people do things that they expect you to be angry and you're not angry, then your walls are intact. That means that they cannot put you in trouble at will. When they want to provoke you to cause a particular reaction because they want to tell people you are this or that, you disappoint them by holding yourself together. So that's what you do when you build character. You learn to control yourself. You learn to control yourself spiritually. You learn to control yourself psychologically. You learn to control yourself emotionally. You learn to control yourself physically, right? So you learn to, whatever it is that is in your body, you learn when to stop. You learn when to preach long. You learn when to preach short. You learn when to obey and go straight to the point. I grew up a perfectionist, and one time my boss gave me a job and he wanted it immediately, yet I was trying to use 3 days to do it because I wanted it to be so perfect. One of the counsels he gave to me is, always play to the time the person has given you. If someone says, I want something in 5 minutes, it means he wants the value of work that is just for 5 minutes. It's not asking for a perfect 3-day job. I want something in 5 minutes. Give me the quick and easy. If it's 5 minutes out, the person that is asking for it already knows that it will not be a 3-day worth of work. So give the person the type of job he's looking for the time he has given you. If it's a 1-day job, give him that 1-day job. But don't try to give someone a 3-day job who has asked for a 5-day job. It's because you cannot control yourself. It's one of the things you need to learn as you go through life. It's part of suffering. It's part of building character. It's part of building the person that can sit on the throne. That's why Joseph could not just go to the throne. God had to take Joseph through the school of life to learn character, to suffer, to learn character. Even Jesus, the Bible said, he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. Suffering is not anemic to life. Suffering is a part of life. It's part of the journey, part of the way, part of the steps to the throne. You are not going to get to the throne until you have faced life, until life has touched you, until you have touched life. Even the Israelites, God had to take them through the wilderness. God did not take them straight to the promised land because he knew they were not ready. He had to take them to the promised land to prepare them, to give them character, to give them the person that they will be worthy, that will be able to carry, the gifting that God wanted to give them in the promised land. So God took them through the wilderness. He said he did that for two things. One, to see what was in their heart. Another way of saying what is in their heart is to build them up, to build their character, to make them the person that can carry, the person that can handle the promise, the gifting, the blessing that God wanted to give to them. The next thing was to let them know that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God. He's saying that another way of looking at that is that to know that you need to build capacity. You need to do something to build yourself up. You need to build capacity on a daily basis. You need to build capacity, read, get knowledge, get understanding, get wisdom. It will make a difference in your life. It will keep you. It will keep you. It will keep you. Yes, have character, but you also need knowledge. You need understanding. You need wisdom to carry you through life, right? So build character. And we'll build that by suffering. We'll build that by leaning into life. We'll build that by facing life, not running away from life. We'll build that by facing life, not avoiding life, right? And here it says the only way to change yourself is to challenge yourself, right? If you never push, you have direction but no destination, right? The only way, you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself. Like growth coming out life is not going to come by feeling, because like someone said, your mind is designed to protect you, right? Your mind will always tell you not to go to a place that will cause pain, but that pain might be what you need to grow. Your mind was designed to protect you. So you need to know when to overcome the protective cautions, signals of your mind. You need to know how to evaluate that default setting of your mind saying, don't go there. You need to know how to evaluate it, to know how. It just means, sometimes it means don't go at all. Sometimes it's just telling you caution, right? So you need to differentiate between that, but you're not going to grow in life until you push yourself. You're not going to go, in the path of progress by feeling. You won't feel like it, because the only thing you are going to feel like is to stay in the comfort zone. But life is not found in the comfort zone. You need to push yourself to the next level of your existence. You need to push yourself to become the person that your future needs, the person that you are today. You cannot stand the things that your future holds for you. You need to grow. You need to push yourself to become the person that can handle the future that is waiting for you. It's not going to come by feeling. It's going to come by decision. It's going to come by having the vision of that future and asking yourself the things that you need to face that future and begin to do it. It's going to come by you being intentional. It's going to come by you being proactive. It's going to come by you sowing. It's going to come by you being disciplined, holding yourself, constraining yourself, not doing all the things that you feel like doing, not doing all the things that you feel like doing, not doing the things that everyone around you is doing, because they have their own different journey. They have their own walk. It's facing your walk, asking the question, what does it take to succeed, to be successful, to triumph in your own walk, in your own journey, in your own vision, in your own dream, and doing it, irrespective of what every other person is doing, because their walk is different. Their dream is different. Their vision is different. Their destination is different. That's what it means to come alive. Come alive to your journey. Come alive to your walk. Come alive to your vision. Come alive to your life. Come alive to life's expectation of you. Come alive to God's expectation of you. Come alive to your purpose. Come alive to your purpose. Right? So there's this long one here by Ronald FX. Let's see what we can get from it. It says, exercise and leadership is an expression of your aliveness, right? And the first place we exercise leadership is on our own self. There are about 4 different dimensions of leadership, right? It's we'll lead ourselves. We'll lead ourselves, right? If you don't lead yourself, you cannot lead others. You lead yourself. Only when you lead yourself can you lead others who are not necessarily higher or lower than you, your peers, right? But you can only do that when you can lead yourself. When you can lead yourself, you can lead others. You can lead those ahead of you, and you can lead those below you. But it all starts from leading yourself. Leading yourself is a place of coming alive. Coming alive. Knowing how to order your steps, right? So exercise and leadership is an expression of our aliveness. But when you cover yourself up, you risk losing something as well. In the struggle to save yourself, you can give up too many of those qualities that are the essence of being alive, like innocence, curiosity, and compassion. Says that you just need to step out. Because when you don't step out, when you are protecting yourself, oh, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to feel pain. Oh, I'm careful about what people will say about me. You die. You die. You lose your ability to be innocent. You lose your ability to be curious. You lose your ability to have compassion. You lose your ability, your desire for life. You're also not able to build there's a word for that. It's not coming to me right now. But you're not building momentum in being able to handle life, right? You need to step out, right? You need to step out. Just thinking about myself yesterday, and a lot of things I've stepped into, and I just do it. I just do it because I know that the way I'm designed, if I don't do it, I'll never do it, because I grew up a perfectionist. If I allow myself to look for all the ways it will not go wrong, I will not get to do it. So I do it. I do it stupidly at first until I know how to do it right. But I start doing it. I don't wait for me to feel it. If I feel there's something I need, something that will help me, I start doing it. I learn along the way, right? I use all that I have at that point in time and grow doing it, right? So step out, and make the best of the life that you want, you have. Here, uh, the purpose of a rose is to be a rose. The purpose of a rose is to be a rose. Your purpose is to be yourself, nothing else. Your purpose of a rose is a rose. Your purpose is to be yourself. And we're all shaped for the purpose that the Creator has for us. The Holy Book says that God decided what He wanted us to do. Then He created us to be able to do that thing. He did not create us first and decide what He was going to give to us. He decided what He wanted us to do. Then He created us in a way that is fitting to do the work. He had what he wanted us to do. He created us to do the work. So we're created to do the work that the Creator has for us, where God determined what he wanted for you. So he created you to be able to do you. You are created to do you. You have everything that it requires to do you. You can do everything that is on the path for you to do because you are well equipped to do you. You are well equipped to walk your walk. You are well equipped to fulfill your purpose. Just like a rose is designed to be a rose, you are designed to be yourself, and you have everything it takes to be yourself, right? And while you're on the way, you will get more, but you have to start with what you have. You have everything you need to start and keep going. And as you're on the way, you'll get better at doing it, right? You don't have to run anywhere to become someone else. You were not designed to be someone else. You were designed to be yourself. You are wonderful just as you are. You are wonderful just as you are. You are designed to be yourself. You are wonderful just as you are. And it doesn't matter who you are. You are wonderful as a woman. You are wonderful as a man. You are wonderful you as a boy that you are right now. While you are a boy, be the best boy you can be. You know, don't be too much in a hurry to be a man. If you're a girl, be the best girl you can be. Don't be too much in a hurry to become a woman. That time will come. But while you are where you are right now, make the best of who you are, where you are, right? If you're single right now, do make the best of being single. Don't be in a hurry to get married. The time of marriage will come. Make the best of where you are right now. If you are married, make the best of your marriage, right? Wherever you find yourself, make the best of it. You are equipped to be who you are, right? So make the best of where you are, make the best of who you are, right? That is what life is. When life is not for excuses. When you make excuses, you stop living. You know, you stop living when you make excuses. I remember talking to a relation of mine, talking about, oh, she's wasted. Not well, she didn't say that to me, or I got to know that. Said, you know, she's wasted her life, you know, with her marriage, right? I mean, that's the devil speaking through somebody, right? You know, you only say that when because of other things have blurred your vision, right? Don't let the devil have a foothold in your life. Don't let the devil run riot in your life. Don't let the devil make a mess of your life. You are equipped to be you. You have all it takes to be you. Start living. Start living. Start making the best of who you are. Start using what you have. Take away the excuse. Make the best of the life you have been given. Right? So suffering is not objective, right? It depends largely on the way you perceive it, right? So what someone calls suffering, another person might not see it as suffering, right? I was out exercising this morning, like I do every Sunday. I get to pull in about 2 hours every Sunday morning, you know, to exercise. I get to pull that also on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Someone else might see me doing it and think I'm suffering. I'm not. I'm paying the price for the good health that I want. For me, it's not suffering. For someone else, sees it as suffering. I see it paying the price for the good health that I want. I want good health, but it's not going to come of its own. I have to pay the price for it. I have to be proactive. I have to be intentional. I have to do the exercise. I have to do the work that brings it about, right? So sometimes suffering is like we say, it's objective. It's subjective, right? What someone sees as suffering, another person sees it as paying the price. Like we spoke about the butterfly, you know, about butterfly struggling to come out of the cocoon. Someone that doesn't understand things that the butterfly is struggling, but the butterfly is doing the struggle of its life. Is strengthening those wings. He's strengthening those wings. He doesn't need help. He doesn't need help. He needs probably maybe encouragement, but he needs to go through that process. That process cannot be taken away. Taking that butterfly away from that process or helping that butterfly through that process is not loving that butterfly. It's not loving that butterfly. That's why we say God is not nice. God is a good God, because a nice person want to help the butterfly. In helping the butterfly, you kill the butterfly. I see a lot of people that want to help poor people, supposed poor people. People are lazy, they won't go to work, and they're wanting other people to help or fund their laziness, right? Nice people will think about, giving them money. Good people will not giving them money, because what they need is not money. What they need is a kick in the ass, and a kick in the ass and a knock on the head, to go pull their own weight, to go do that which they can do, and not be looking for fish. They should go learn how to fish themselves. They are not handicapped. They are not useless. There's something they can do, right? So it depends largely, on the way you perceive suffering. There are things, that cause you to suffer, but do not cause others to suffer. There are things that bring you joy, but do not bring others joy. Just every man to his own. Just know what it is for you, and do it for the reason, for what you are looking for. In scriptures, the Bible talks about Jesus. It says, for the joy that was set before him, he went through the cross, right? For him, for some other people, the cross might be pain. But for him, it was joy, because he was able to go through it, and it was joy because he saw the reason why he was doing it, right? So that's one of the reasons why it's not good to copy someone else. Always have your own reason, because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that it's for you. Know what is required for your own work, and pay the price for your work, not the price someone else is paying. Don't let anybody bewitch you to pay the price he's paying for his own work, and he's trying to impose that on you. Your works are not different. Find the price you need to pay for your own work, and pay it, not what that someone else is bewitching you to follow his or her own. Alrighty, let's see what we have here. All right, so don't run away from things that are unpleasant in order to embrace things that are pleasant. Like I shared at the beginning, that's where I found myself, all this looking for the seeming easy way out. But thank God I came alive. Thank God I woke up. Put your hands in the earth, face the difficulty, and grow new happiness. Face life, lean into life, face life, lean into life. Worrying does not accomplish anything. Even if you worry 20 times more, it will not change the situation of the world. In fact, your anxiety will only make things worse. Even though things are not as we would like, we can still be content, knowing we are trying our best and will continue to do so, right? Worry doesn't change anything. And I'm going through some specific situations of life. I have my daughter is sick. I'm not there personally. I don't have the answer. I'm limited in what I can do, and some time ago, when all of this started, I was worrying, thinking my worry would solve it. And I was in depression for 2 years, right? 2 years. I fought my way out of depression. I don't plan to go back there anymore. So I abandoned it over to God. Bible says that she cast our cares on him because he cares for us. I can handle it. There's a limit to myself. I work on the things I can do and do my best at it. The things I cannot do, I hand over to God. Says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, let your requests be made unto God. That's what's required of me, and I pray. I pray. After I finish praying, I leave it in a place of prayer. I don't carry it with me because I can't handle it, right? And he says he neither slumbers nor sleep. I might as well sleep. Doesn't make no sense both of us being awake. He can handle it. So I rest it in his hands. I find comfort in God's hands, right? So don't throw away your suffering. Touch your suffering face it directly, and your joy will become deeper. You know that suffering and joy are both impermanent, right? Learn the heart of cultivating joy, right? Suffering will pass away, So cultivate joy. Cultivate joy. Know the reason. Always remember the reason why you're going through it. When I'm exercising, I know the reason why I'm doing it. So I'm not sad. I know it's the pain, necessary pain I need to go through to gain the life that I'm looking for. Right? So coming allows us to rest. And resting is a precondition for healing. Our body and mind have the capacity to heal themselves if we allow them to rest. Stopping, calming, and resting are preconditions for healing. If we cannot stop, the course of our destruction will just continue. The key thing is we need to not, let our lives run riot on us. Part of coming alive is knowing what I can do and the things I cannot do. It's doing the things I can do and trusting the things I cannot do to him that can handle it. When I keep on struggling with the things I cannot do, I'm a dead man walking. And I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my precious life. God and life. Do not expect me to waste my time on the things I cannot do. He only calls me and holds me responsible for the things I can do, to be faithful therein. That's where I need to put my energy. That's where I need to suffer. That's where I need to bear my pain, because that's the only thing I can move. May God put this wisdom in us. Thank you. Thank you for coming along this Sunday. Thanks for having this time. We're going to do 2 more sessions here to close this out, hopefully. And it's all just talking about coming alive, facing the issues of our lives. I hope you gained something from this. I hope it blessed you. I'll be back next week and to take another bite on this for chapter 4 before we close it out. Thanks, and have a great week ahead as we go through the last week of October. Shalom. God bless you. See you at the same time next week. Bye-bye.